Hey guys, Lee here. Trying out my new GoPro camera. I thought I would start with a walk around of the Circle Sawmill project I've been working on for the past year and a half, 2 years now I think. Still working on some of the settings on this camera, so I hope everything comes out okay with the video. So I guess we'll walk up and have a closer look. Alright guys, we'll start with a little closer look at this engine. 671 Detroit diesel, 2-stroke, making about 180 horsepower. This mill originally ran with a 371 Detroit diesel, 3-cylinder. This particular one's a 6-cylinder. The 3-cylinder probably made 80 or 90 horsepower. This one's making maybe around 180. So plenty of power. Maybe some upgrades in the future can soak up some of that power this thing's making. Like I've been posting recently on the forum, I'm having some issues with this particular engine running cold. It's only running around 120, 130 degrees while sawing with this big fan over here running. So we're going to replace that 26-inch diameter fan with a 16-inch diameter electric fan. I guess the thought behind that is the electric fan will run only when it's required. So hopefully that'll work out better and let those temperatures come up to 170, 180 degrees. I think the engine will like that a lot better, last a lot longer, and won't have the problems with the oil in the exhaust and that kind of thing. So we'll be removing this fan and also that pulley assembly on top there, that double pulley assembly. That'll be coming off, and that fan there will come out. We've got the shroud removed right now, I guess in preparation of taking that fan off. Certainly wouldn't be safe to run it with that shroud removed. So we'll be taking that out, installing the 16-inch fan directly onto the radiator. And hopefully I'll be able to put up a video of that installation in progress in the next couple of days. Having a look at this side of the mill, you can see the other side of the engine there coming up. I hope it's not getting too dark on me. May have to reset and try this video again, I'm not sure. I'll walk up a little closer though, hopefully it'll work out. You can see the husk area, the green section. Again, I left that green, it doesn't really match, but the gentleman that I purchased this mill from, actually purchased it from his son. The gentleman, the original owner, he passed away back in 2011, and that was the color that he had painted the mill, the entire mill, and I decided to leave the husk and the carriage that green color. Kind of maybe as a tribute to him. A lot of things I modified on this mill, maybe a little more modern, a little more user-friendly, but I did decide to leave those things the same color as they are, or at least as they were. Also, you can see the dust removal system there that I built, the chain and the bracket there that holds it up, the posts, the pulley system that drives it. Overhead you have the wood guard, just in case the chain were to break, it wouldn't fall down into the blade while the blade's turning. I suppose that would make probably a huge mess, so we want to avoid that. We'll walk up on the sawyer's platform. You can see the husk and the blade itself looking down. Cable drum shaft looking down there toward where probably there should be a pit. I kind of tossed that idea back and forth, and I really spent a lot of time thinking about that, and I decided to leave the concrete pad flat for now. I'm kind of having to clean that out by hand. I suppose if I were more of a commercial operation, or I ever got really busy sawing, I would have to do something different there to keep from having to clean out quite so much or quite so often. But as it happens, the style sawing and the amount of sawing that I'm doing now, I'm getting away pretty good without a pit there, so we'll leave that as it is for now. And then looking out this direction, you can see the trough that I built, carry that dust up and out into that pile, kind of a small pile I guess, but nonetheless a pile. I guess some's better than none. The trough there carries the dust up, or the chain carries it up, I'm sorry, and the trough kind of contains it and it falls out the end. Again, I'm still trying to get used to this GoPro camera and the settings, so I just wanted to make a few quick videos hopefully I'll get this thing figured out and we can set up and do some sawing and video those type things. The view underneath the husk, you can see the small clearance, the limited amount of clearance I have under that blade there. It's about 8 inches from the blade down to the concrete pad. Certainly if I had it to do over again, I would have cast a section into this concrete pad to allow for a pit, but found out that that's what I should have done a little too late. So it can certainly be modified later. I just decided to move forward with the design as it was, and you know, again, for the amount of sawing I'm doing right now, it's working pretty well. I do have to keep an eye on this area, keep the dust from building up too much and getting into the blade, and I certainly have to watch for large chunks of bark or wood and keep those cleared out from under the blade there. But it's worked well so far, and hopefully it'll continue to work well. You can see the chain. You can see the chain does its job. It carries the dust out. It drags it right out there onto that trough and carries it up and out into the pile. So I'm going to run what I've got until situations change, and then I may have to modify it later. As mentioned before, at some point I would like to convert this chain to an electric motor instead of driving it directly from the mandrel, so that I could have the chain running without the saw turning. And that would let me get under here with the chain moving and rake some of this dust over onto the chain itself and let the chain carry it out without fear of getting into that blade while it's turning. That's just not safe. There's no way I would try to do that with that blade moving. So hopefully that's one of the modifications I'll be able to make in the near future. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the quick walk around tour of the Sawmill project. With this new camera, once I get things figured out, hope I'll be able to put up some more videos for you guys to check out. Also want to set this thing up and do some sawing. I've got a couple of ideas how I want to video some stuff there, so hopefully we'll get it worked out, and hope you guys will enjoy.